you sure this is the right way?
Affirmative.
What's up? Something on your mind?
Well, never mind. Let's go. That blue hedgehog like me. What did the doctor say about my memory? And just who am I?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Sonic Heroes. In the last episode, we did the Jungle Zone and had a altercation, let's say, with Team Sonic at the end of it. Don't know why I pluralized that. This episode, we're in the Spooooky Zone, which has Hang Castle, which I'm not a huge fan of, and then one of my favourite levels, possibly my favourite level, certainly my favourite music in the game. No! Well, no, Man, I suck at choosing favourites. Someone pointed this out to me the other day. Apparently I used, over the course of like Mass Effect, when I was talking about my favourite missions, apparently I talked about like 7 or 8 missions I all called my favourite one. I think I'm not great at picking favourites, generally, I think, is just something... I think a lot of people aren't really good at it. It's like... Favourite tends to mean, for me, just something that is important to me and usually seems to mean a lot to me on a kind of personal level. That doesn't in any way imply that there has to be only one. It's not Highlander. See who gets that reference. If you've never watched the film Highlander, do. Or maybe don't, I don't know, I'm not sure it's great. Oh, look at this.
Retractable door detected.
Let's hop down here and see if we can open it. Yeah, so Highlander was made at the peak of the 80s. It's about as 80s as the 80s got. It's got Sean Connery in it, as a band of... Well, Sean Connery doesn't play a band of anything. There are a band of immortal warriors who can't die. But whenever one of them kills another one, they absorb their essence in what's called a quickening. And there can be only one. There's the whole thing with it, which means eventually all the immortals will battle to the death, and only one of them can survive, and only he will win the prize. So I spat into the microphone there. That was supposed to be dramatic, but it was really not. But yeah, Highlander is shit, but kind of also great in the same way. I think, well, I will have done it by now, but as of yet I haven't done this year's Highlander Day, which is a wonderful thing that me and a group of my friends do. Well, we basically just go up to Scotland. Well, it started when I was in Scotland, but I'm obviously no longer in Scotland. I say obviously, as if you know where I am. But I now, every year, will make a pilgrimage up to Scotland for Highlander Day, which basically just involves getting drunk and watching Highlander. Great. We have a whole set of drinking rules for the game, which is basically just drink until it's a good film, which makes you drink damn... Oh, hello. Interesting. There's doings happening. There we go. Yeah, if you drink, yeah, you drink it. You drink when it's yeah. Boy, I completely ran out of words there. I got distracted by the game, and I completely have no idea what I was saying. So I'm sure it wasn't very important. Anyway, when we hit the switch, the castle then returns back to normal. I realise I really haven't been talking much about what's going on. Anyone who's joined the series at this stage is going to be very lost. There's a cracked wall here we can blast through and get 10 coins. Not coins, rings, you fucking idiot. That was a bit unnecessarily harsh to me. Things with shields take a bit more effort to kill. You can remove their shield using Black Tornado, sorry, but that's not strictly necessary. If you just hit them hard enough, they will go eventually. We're again in a really weird leveling situation where, what the, come on, get them the fucking thing. Oh, it's because it's still extending. That's a big pole. Man, it is a big pole. Boy, I wasn't kidding, apparently. To you too. Yeah, no, I was going to say, it's in a really weird situation where I've got 3 levels on Sonic and Shadow and Rouge, and no levels on Omega. Kill. I think I pointed out when he does that in the past. I think it's just so... This game, like a lot of old arcade games, has a scoring system which is almost inaccessible to the viewer, the player. Like, it's there, you see it above the timer, but what actually makes what score seems to be completely random, and also what score means is naff all. So you just kind of, you don't really notice it. But if you get a lot of points in one, then you get a multiplier. The more points you get in one sitting, the higher the multiplier is. And then when all the points are through, it applies a multiplier and it caches them all in, appearing below where the key is. And the whoever is leading says something depending on how many there were. So if there's like 200, I think it's a bit. So you notice there, Rouge went, yeah! If that was a Mega, he would have gone, kill! And I think Shadow goes, unnatural. I shouldn't have killed those guys, should I? Oh, I'm going to have to fly over there, aren't I? There we go. Ah, right. I have literally no idea why this came into my head. Has anyone watched my Wario Land 3 Let's Play? I think because I was talking about games that keep score, and I think that game like technically does. That's... Oh, I might go back and watch it. I don't think... I very rarely watch... Oh dear. There we go. That was bloody close. I very rarely watch my own series back ever. Sometimes the multiplayer stuff I do, but it's not easy, as you can imagine, to watch back the single player stuff because I'm just watching myself talking. But sometimes I get the craving to play a game again, but I'm like, yeah, but I want to have played it again, but I actually don't want to have to sit through and play it again. And I don't know why. I think it's something there triggered that with Wario Land 3, and I'm like, boy, I want to play that game again. I'm like, yeah, but I don't. But also, I did that really well. That is such a good series of mine. That sounds really mingy, but genuinely, like, that was one of those ones. It's only a short series. I think it's 12 episodes. But woohoo! But I planned it, woohoo, really well. Everything came together really nicely. The visualizer for it is... What's the word? Exhaustive. It certainly shows everything, but it looks really cool. I think it's a really funny series. If you like any kind of old-style 2D platformer, like the original Sonic games, for example, hint hint, watch that series. You may really enjoy it. It's only short, but I think it's bloody good. I might watch that tonight, actually. Is that weird? I don't know. Is watching my own stuff weird? Probably. It's a tough one. I mean, there are people who still find the idea of watching Let's Play stuff weird anyway. Ha! I had this brilliant thing with my dad the other day. Again, the other day. This discussion was 2.5 years ago. But it does come up occasionally, so I do. It is re-referenced. I explained to him about the channel stuff. He just didn't get it particularly. And he was just like, why would you want to watch someone else play a game? And I was like, I don't know. You watch a lot of football. Why would you want to watch someone else play a game? And he was like, but that's not... You're making a good point. And he basically just conceded the argument there, which is... That rarely happens with people generally when they're just like, you know what, you made a very good point, I need to go and think about that. And I think since then it seems to have sunk in. That he's like, yeah, I can absolutely see it. I think the football comparison was what did it. The football, you're absolutely watching someone else play a game. That doesn't in any way affect your enjoyment of it. Oh, look at this, it's a statue of Eggman. But when you flip the castle over... Sorry, whoop, there you go, you flip the castle over. Missed the jump, that was embarrassing. It's a statue of something else. Do you recognise who that is? If you do, wow, you've been paying attention to the subtle plot of this game, and that's going to be a whole thing in a few episodes' time. But yeah, and then we got to the point where he was actually watching my stuff. Like my father watched my Peggle series and really enjoyed it. So it just goes to show that it's all about explaining it properly. Then I think it's an older generation thing of that there's a kind of idea of like that it's inaccessible, but it's not. And I think Let's Play content is just generally amusing. Like for me, like okay, let's take this series with Team Dark. The selling point of it, oh, it's this moment. This is only on Team Sonic's otherwise. The selling point of this is not Sonic Hero. Well, it might be, but I think it's unlikely to be. Not to sound big-headed or anything, but I think the selling point here is me. That I'm certainly... Put it this way, if I uploaded this without commentary, I imagine it would be even less successful than I suspect it will be. So it's just, it's personal comedy, and it doesn't really matter what the... Oh, you said jump and... Wow. I feel like I shouldn't be doing that. I'm going to fall back and land on the travelator. Oh, I missed it. Good lord. But yeah, it was good to... It was really actually encouraging. For my dad to just kind of understand that. Oh.
There's someone there.
So now we need to dodge the spooky boys and just fall down and gather as much shit as we can on the way down. This is... So the Team Sonic level has that section in, but it ends there. So everything here is Team Dark exclusive. And that's it. But hey, there you go. So now we move on to the boss. But yeah, it was really encouraging actually to have that conversation with my dad and actually be like, no, this is what it's about, and him be like, actually, yeah, I can see that.
E-Series robot.
Inside the castle.
There is spooky in here.
Initiating interior search.
Would you describe it as too spooky, Rouge? Because I certainly would. But now, the funny thing is now, I may have already done it by now, but I'm certainly in the process of attempting to get my dad to do a Let's Play with me. Because I reckon I think he'd actually be great at it, because my father is certainly where I get my sense of humour from. And I think he'd genuinely be really good on commentary. And he was probably slightly, I would say, slightly too old to get into the whole video games thing, because he was born in the 60s, so by the time everything really started, like the kind of 70s, well, the 80s really, he was already just a bit too old for it, and also into punk rock at the time, so very much different kind of aesthetic going on there. But he has his games from the 90s that he's into, old MS-DOS shit, that he very much enjoyed. So I reckon if I picked the right game, I could get him onto a Let's Play. I think that'd be remarkable. Drop a comment if you want to see that. I may have done it by now, but I suspect I won't have done, because I'm going to have almost no free time between now and when this airs. Certainly, so as I say, it's April, do I say as I say too much? I wonder about that, because I feel like I say it a lot. I was saying as I say to something I've said in previous episodes in Team Darkspawn, because it's all been one recording session for me. But it's April at the moment, and this will be going up around end of August, July time, but I already, like, most of my weekends between now and then are booked up. It's crazy. My life is just busy now, apparently. So I don't know if I'll have a chance to have scheduled it or not. Oh, mysterious switch made shit come to life. JT Blast, there we go. I was literally hammering the back button there. Because I didn't want to get bollocks to... I'm in a weird level up situation again. Well, I mean, okay, partly this is because I have been prioritising Rouge level ups. Ooh, listen to that music. Oh, I didn't do the thing. So this music is really interesting because it's very different to the soundtrack version. So the soundtrack, this music has probably about, I would say 5 or 6 variants. And different variants play at different parts of the level. But on the soundtrack version, which I have on my phone, see, this one I expected to do this. I was expecting it to go into this. Oh shit, I meant to do the Mega. Oh, well, it doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, I was expecting it to go into that part of the music because that's what it does in the kind of soundtrack version, but actually each part of the soundtrack is restricted to a particular part of the level, and during that part of the level it will just loop that part of the soundtrack over and over. So it's almost like disconcerting. It's like the musical equivalent of when you've been spinning in a circle one way for ages and then you turn and spin in the other direction. Do people get that? If they don't, that's gonna sound really fucking weird. I trust they do. Interesting. How do I get up there? Do I have to do a huge jump over here? No. Oh, I don't feel like I was supposed to do that because I literally only just made that and I'm now not Dr. Skeletal, it's just Mr. Skeletal. He doesn't have a doctorate. Oh. What? Oh, I was supposed to get to the back, flick the switches there, and then take this thing into the ceiling. I completely bollocksed it. No, for some reason I was thinking of Mr. Skeletal, known meme. But I said Dr. Skeletal for some reason. Is there a Dr. Skeletal? No. There's Mr. Skeletal. There's Rich Uncle Skeleton from a different thing, but can't think of a Dr. Skeletal. Maybe I just confused it with myself. That's a very odd phrase to hear. Maybe I confused it with myself. Well, sounds like that opened a door somewhere, and indeed, if we use triangle dive... Come on. There we go. But yeah. Oh. Come on. Yeah, if you'd be interested in seeing a Let's Play with the Doctor and the Doctor's dad, drop me a comment. And possibly suggest a game, which both myself and a man in his mid-50s would enjoy. and we'll certainly do it. But I think the gameplay is less important. I think my dad could give good commentary when not even when prompted, just generally, because he's very similar to me in his sense of humor and stuff like that. I think it could be great, but you know, if you're interested, drop a comment. This guy's wearing a hat, so I'm just gonna kill him right the fuck away. Wonderful. So what you're supposed to do is knock him over.
The unlit torches must be the key.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
Doesn't compute. Illogical.
Unlit torches must be the key. What did I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh, unless I can light them with a mega, which I can! Hey! Oh, it's a burning spiderwebbing moment, always nice. Ooh, tried to say too many things at the same time there. I should explain what I mean by a burning spiderwebbing moment. Ocarina of Time. Early on in the game, you get the Deku sticks, and the game explains that Deku sticks can be used to carry fire. But it never explains that fire can be used to burn spiderwebbing. But eventually, you get stuck. And you're like, well, I guess I need to try various things I can, and inevitably you then try lighting the spider webbing on fire using a Deku stick, and lo and behold, that was weird. Lo and behold, it works. And that's what I refer to those moments in games when it's like, when suddenly you're like, that shouldn't work, but it could, and you try it and you're like, it does work, and it's such a good feeling. And it's a sign of just genuinely good game design that games can get that kind of stuff. Oh, let's get a HUD up here to where this bloke is, because there's a 1-up up here. God, and only 9 lives. Usually I get like 30 or 40. I guess it's because I have actually really been dying with these guys quite a lot. Not enough to get game overs or anything like that, but yeah, burning spiderwebbing, use your words, Doctor. Burning spiderwebbing moments are just, for me, they're a sign of great game design where you're just like, oh, that does work. And whatever else you say about that game, that was interesting. Breath of the Wild has a lot of those moments. I say whatever else you say about that game because I'm not a... okay. I played like 50 hours of Breath of the Wild, so I must be somewhat of a fan of it. I did enjoy it. I hope future Zelda games aren't like Breath of the Wild because it wasn't my kind of thing. It didn't have much plot. It was a bit repetitive.
What a bunch of
and it did open world stuff. Open world works great if it's got shit in it. Wind Waker, for example, open world, but it's got things in it. Whereas Breath of the Wild felt like it was open world for the sake of ticking that open world box, which apparently Western gamers love. I have no problem. Like this game is linear, but it's great fun. Indeed, a lot of early Zelda games were like that as well. It's like there's no reason why linear should be a dirty word, but nowadays it is viewed as so, and that slightly annoys me. So I didn't dislike Breath of the Wild, but it wasn't amazing either. And then they brought out DLC for it. I was like, oh, this could be something different, and it wasn't. It was just, oh, there's more shrines. The whole game felt. Yes, it was a big, ambitious game, but it was a big, ambitious game of which most of the shit felt very similar after a while. Oh god, this is hard to look at. And I think I am being a little as in, what the? I wouldn't say I'm being unfair, but I think I'm sounding more negative than I want to. That I did really enjoy playing it. What the? That's all 3 of them, isn't it? Why is he come back? So Shadow's over there, Omega's there, and there we go. Okay, that did do it. So now I think we get the 3 altars bit, which is only otherwise in Team Sonic's thing. But it's different in this one. So we'll start with a speed altar. So we activate it, and everything goes blue. Nearly spoiled that one.
This is a job for Shadow.
Well, I mean, is it? Allegedly. Once you have taken out all enemies on a given altar, reactivate it.
This is the ultimate power.
And nothing changes. But you just have to trust that it's worked. Then we go to the fly one. This section I think works better with Team Sonic. With Team Sonic, you activate each one, and then you've got to get back to the center using that power. So like there's a fly obstacle course, there's a speed obstacle course, and there's a power obstacle course. Here you just fight enemies. I guess it's their way with Team Dark of like trying to make it hard, but it's like, yeah, there are ways of making things harder than enemies. But yeah, why was I even talking about Breath of the Wild?
Leave it to Omega.
Oh, balls. That was a complete reflex press of the old back button there. I've got it set to back on an Xbox controller. I think that's it. So, when you've got all three of those done, you will notice, well, you won't because Shadow's feet are in the way, this central cage is now unlocked. Let's hit it, and
Enemies eliminated.
we're to this little outdoor area, which is quite a low-res background. Looks like a stately home or something. But hey, there we go. Those have been two quite big ones. I think this episode's going to be approaching 20 minutes anyway, and it's going to be quite a big boss. But hey, let's do it. Leroy Jenkins.
What do you think, Omega?
Sensors jammed. Real Eggman ID not possible.
We'll just have to find out, won't we?
What's the matter? Cold feet? Well then, here I come. Get them.
So this is Robot Storm, which is a similar concept to Robot Carnival. You can fight enemies over and over again. This one can be really hard, so it's going to be interesting. I had a weird moment there. So while the cutscene was playing, I was checking my phone. And so my phone is currently sitting 50 centimeters or so, foot and a bit for our American viewers, below my microphone. Oh, bloody hell. They're bloody throwing me one of these pretty bloody quickly, aren't they? I said bloody too many times there. I feel like it lost its intended impact. But yeah, my microphone's sitting just above my phone, and I unlocked my phone and I started using it just to quickly check messages and shit. And so I've currently got it set up with... Do I have to kill the... Oh, no, I don't. Oh, bloody hell. I don't have to kill the ships, was what I meant, the planes. But yeah, I've got my headphones, my microphone even set up for live monitoring, so I can hear what my microphone hears live, so I can hear myself because I've got big headphones on it. It does help me to regulate volume and all that kind of stuff. But through the live monitoring, I heard a kind of... Ooh, bloody hell, that was a lot of scary gold boys. Let's kill them. And that reminds me of an effect I've not heard in years. Of when you used to have a mobile phone next to speakers, if you're about to get a text message, you'd hear a specific sound through the speakers going, and then your text would come in. And that's just something I kind of only just clocked that you just don't hear anymore, really. But I think this was a type of it. This must have been some kind of electromagnetic... Oh, interference on the microphone. That's because it's quite a sensitive and also unshielded microphone that's very close to a device that's doing a lot of Wi-Fi shit. But it's really interesting. I will...
Eliminate all Eggman's robots.
No words in there at all, but hey. Yeah, if it picked up on the... I suspect it didn't. It will have been on the live monitoring, but probably wasn't on the recording. If it is on the recording, I will play a sample of it, but I suspect it was not. So, there are many levels of this. There's about... Unlike Robot Carnival, when you defeat a group of enemies, you then tend to... You defeat a couple of groups in one given area, and then you'll move on to another area. And there's a fair few areas. This is a really long one, actually. And the fact you've got no edges is a bit mingy for it as well. I struggled with this quite a lot with Team Chaotix, and theirs wasn't even as long as this one is. Just as ever, remember that you gain your Team Blast meter, as you just saw. Oh, ballsack! There we go, I'm just going to Team Blast it. Fuck! Fuck, Team Blast, do the thing! Ah! Meh! Why is that Windows thing coming up? What even is... What was that? I pressed the central button and it brought up a thing. What the fuck is this? Does Windows have its own game recording stuff? Is this a Windows 10 thing? It must be. Do I not need Shadowplay anymore? Well, either way, it's causing my controller to react strangely. Cool, yeah, because I'm on an Xbox controller. I pressed the central button and that happened. I guess it must be Windows has its own game capture stuff now. Well, I have an Nvidia card, so I'm going to use Shadowplay. It's not even called Shadowplay anymore. It's called... I don't even know what it's called. It was called Shadowplay for ages, and then they changed it to being called Nvidia Share, and then it was just called In-Game Overlay. Literally have no idea what it even is nowadays. Oh, the spooky things there. So these... Right, so the wizard guys, I haven't really talked about them. They have two forms. If you use any move that flips them upside down, like... Oh my god. like Blue Tornado, they'll flip from the good form to the bad form. When in the bad form, they... let's test our new level up to Mega with them. Wonderful. Oh, that was good. When you flip them upside down, when they're the right way up, they heal other enemies. If they aren't the right way up, if they're the wrong way up, they will put an area onto the floor. Oh my goodness. If you're in that area when the spell activates, it will start draining your rings. It's not particularly powerful or anything like this, but mildly scary, I suppose. These guys should be ridiculously easy to take out with level 3 Thundershoots, and indeed they are. Oh! How did that happen? We're definitely in the spooky zone because all the controls are going fucking spooky, if nothing else. I really want to. I'm just. Oh no! No! Sorry, those squiddy things have put the fear in me since Robot Carnival when I realised that all three of them can just grab you and just end you there and then.
Stop this senseless fight. You underestimated us, haven't you?
Activation test unsuccessful. Minimal resistance detected.
But yeah, I'm. Oh, good. That does usually mean we're getting towards the end. I'm still hanging on to Team Blast because I really just don't want to waste that because that can really be a lifesaver. Usually, when you move to a new area, as I'm about to, the first thing you face in that area is a whole heap of bullshit. Let's see what's going to be here. A couple of Healy guys, a couple of gold guys. Oh, guy with a hat. Yep. Always worth having a Team Blast in hand for when you move to a new zone. And I think this is the last one. It certainly doesn't have any means of moving to a new one, so that implies that it is the final one. And we're doing fairly well. We'll do it in the first run, if we do it this run, which will be nice. That's weird sounds. And he'll say, when he says, this is only the beginning, it means it's usually the end, which means we're also very close then to getting everyone's favourite sound bites, which is, don't get so excited, boys! Those were the easy ones! And that's certainly incoming soon. I just need to really keep mobile here. Because I don't want them to do their attack particularly. I want at least... Okay, that's fine. He can do his attack now, partly because he killed his friend, and also because now I have the distance to deal with them. The issue is if they all attack at the same time, that's fantastic. But if they're doing their attacks at different times, you can do nothing about it, and while one leathers you, the other ones are getting ready to do their attack, and then you've just recovered from one attack, and the next one leathers you.
Those were the easy ones.
Oh, we've heard that sound effect for the last time. Because you hear it twice, once after Robot Storm, once after Robot Carnival, and this is the final team! We've heard that 8 times, and never again. Well, on that bittersweet note, that was the Spooky Zone, and I hope you'll join me next time for the final zone of the final team, which is the Airship Zone. Thank you very much, and good day.